And remove my name from the cast and crew tab if the show doesn't start.
I literally clicked it over as you started reading that. Hello, welcome to DCP Live, episode number 315. With
Patrick.
With Patrick in chat. Yeah.
That's right.
He's threatening us.
This is the death of Twitter episode. So,
Yes.
pour one out.
Twitter questions. Is it going to be Tumblr questions?
Tumblr question, Mastodon questions?
Mastodon questions?
I reckon we just
send a Raven
the forum, like the platform every week, like 1 week.
Change it every week.
Yeah. That's the way.
Just make
up.
I think I'm
more
going
questions
to.
will be where we stay.
We're gonna go back to
I think I'm going to
forums.
send Elon a private message offering to buy Twitter from him for $100, a hot dog, a mouse. What else do I have on my desk here? Maybe an 8-bit do controller. I don't know, whatever I got. Just send it to him. I think he might take it just to get rid of the stress, right?
Yeah.
Like I'd be doing him a favor.
I think you'd be stressed out afterwards.
I don't think I would be as stressed as he is. I think I would handle it a lot better.
Yeah, you gonna give him a pair of Crocs, or are you gonna keep the Crocs? That's too important, right?
No, the Crocs are too valuable.
Yeah, the Crocs stay, man.
That's what Briar would do. He'd be like, Crocs for everyone.
Yeah, everybody must show to work in Crocs if you're going to show up at all. Really, it's up to you, though. Take the day off. We're cool. It's only Twitter.
Yeah, it's only Twitter, guys. It's only Twitter. Yeah.
I do like Twitter.
Twitter is as toxic as it has been in the past. It's still a central place for everyone to get together and share information. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like you guys on Twitter.
like
I like to follow
Twitter
what you guys are up to.
Yeah. Like last week I announced we have a new album coming out, and it's coming out tomorrow, and I announced on Twitter, so like
Perfect.
People know via Twitter, and if Twitter isn't here tomorrow, there's still a new album coming out tomorrow.
I just won't
So
be able
where
to have
can
anywhere to
people
tell
find
you
that
guys
album?
anything.
Oh, it's going to be on Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp, all the places. Look, Tefty and Memes, called "Lost in the Noise," the album. But if Twitter dies, you can't find out. You can listen to the podcast and find out where it's going to be.
There's hidden messages
How long you been working on
in
this
the
one?
songs.
Yeah, hidden messages. There's hidden lore messages about Bife, really. Yeah, lore messages about Bife.
It's a Lord Daddy. It's like underneath.
The Lord Daddy. You said how long we've been working? We actually started in August and decided to make a synthwave record. We were actually going to try to make an hour's worth, and that ended up becoming 30 minutes. So it's like a 10-song album. That's like synthwave, 80s influence type of stuff. So yeah, we're happy about it.
How do you feel about me
Can't
listening
wait.
to it on stream? Can I listen to it on stream?
It is DMCA safe. If you are a streamer, you can stream it.
Okay.
You won't get copyright struck or anything like that. Also, if you're a content creator and you want to use the music in your YouTube videos, that's totally fine as well. We actually have.
What if I want to dance to it on TikTok?
Is only if you're nude. If you're not nude, then
Perfect.
I'm gonna hit you with the strike.
Why would I dance on TikTok?
Is there a
if I-
TikTok dance that goes along with
Yeah,
the
you
song?
need a TikTok dance.
Oh,
Maybe the
yeah.
Nutbush.
We need-
the Nutbush.
Yeah. Is there any song that syncs up with the Nutbush?
Maybe we could revive,
City
do a
Limit.
little Nutbush revival. Yeah. Okay.
Nutbush synth.
Is there a cover of Nutbush City Limits?
You should do a cover of Nutbush
Now
City
that
Limits.
would be a hidden track. That would be
That's
awesome.
an
That would be
idea
good.
right there. Memes singing Nutbush? Yes.
Oh man. But yeah, if you're a content creator, also if you want instrumental versions, they're actually on the Bandcamp version. So as like there's the 10 songs with vocals, and then TV and film, that a lot of people like to have the instrumental version to cut vocals in and out of stuff. So that's also an option is there as well.
It comes out tomorrow, he said. I can't wait to listen to it.
Yeah, it's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, thanks. I'm excited about it. So
Cool.
Awesome.
Well, there's a lot to talk about this week.
Yeah. How
There
are you
is.
feeling, Mylan?
I don't know. People trigger me. I don't know.
Getting triggered? Community is upsetting you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Who would have thought?
What have they done?
Who would have thought? Should we go for the top? Look, okay. Here's my overall argument, because every time something about PvP comes up, we have this well, I seem to hear this conversation. Maybe it's to do with me and my community about, Destiny's a predominantly PvE game, la 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 la, and my rebuttal to that is, if you reverse it, right? Because right now the rewards in PvP are not great, and someone said, "Oh, if you can't have two good rewards in PvP, like we'll get like the mountaintop meta coming back where you only get raids if you've got like mountaintop for DPS." I was like, well, I don't think that's fair, because if you reverse the concept, what if you did King's Fall raid and you didn't get any weapons? And the logic was, well, no, you would impact PvP.
You get
Because
elo.
that's how it currently is. Like, the rewards are very limited in PvP. And people justify that like, oh, you impact PvE too much. I'm like, no, I don't agree with that at all.
Well,
PvP has a big place in this game, and I think we see the impact of that over this season, because people finding they don't have much stuff to do once the story's done this season, once they've gone for their dungeons and raids, and unless you're grinding like crafting and that kind of stuff, which there's certainly a big portion of Destiny players that just want to chase loot and chase crafting patterns and stuff like that. But there's also a big portion that sort of want to enjoy life and not do the same stuff over and over. And PvP usually is a good place to hang out, and it's not quite that way at the moment.
I want to say real quick. I know you're saying, and I agree with you that like the rewards, it's not going to technically break the other side of things, but it also depends on what type of rewards that they put in there. Because Mountaintop technically was kind of like a PvE defining genre weapon.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's up to Bungie to make sure that they don't put something in there where it's going to be like, well, you have to go flawless or whatever, hit the peak of the mountain in order to get this weapon to then be really good at like speed running raids. That's really up to Bungie to not do that to the community.
Yeah, that's not like a balance issue. That's not like, there shouldn't be a defining concept that you shouldn't get really good gear from PvP,
Well, yeah, you shouldn't technically get like the best raid gear from PvP and vice versa. It's like, you shouldn't necessarily get the best PvP gear from a raid, I mean, I know it would get
or doing like trying to get the adept palindrome, right? Because that was the meta for a long time.
Yeah.
PvP.
But that's sort of like what you do though, is like you go and you're more likely to grind PvE for PvP weapons.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. Well, at least it's on par, right? And it's not the other way around.
Yeah, a lot of PvP people are willing to jump into PvE if there's a weapon that's going to allow them to do better in PvP. Yeah. It's somewhat the same on the other side, but definitely not as much, because like PvP.
I think the PvE players are more resistant to having to play PvP, especially at high levels, to get something like a Recluse or a Mountaintop.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm saying is PvP has a very big role in this game and needs a lot of love and attention, and I don't think we should discount it if you're a PvE lover. And that's what
I agree. Like when the game has a good PvP, like PvE is strong. PvE is usually strong in for the most time with Destiny, and then like when there's good PvP as well, the community is generally happy, and there's a lot to do. There's a lot of choices. In fact, you can kind of feel overwhelmed with all the things you want to do, because you're like, oh well, PvP is good, and also want to go do this stuff and grind for this loot in various places. When it sucks, it is a rain cloud over the community. Like, I want to play, but I don't. And I don't want to play strikes, but I guess I gotta if I want to get this one specific role. Man.
And I think I'm kind of skipping ahead a little bit, but I think Bungie kind of almost solves this in their own way with Rose, the hand cannon, because they specifically say that it's going to have a perk list built from popular consistency perks designed to highlight 3v3 play. So if that's the case, that the perks on Rose is going to be really good for comp, then technically it shouldn't be a gun that people want for PvE specifically.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to have those perks. So it's like what you said, Tufty. It really comes down to Bungie balancing that, right? And not putting weapons that are clearly great at PvE in PvP.
Yeah, a freaking mountaintop.
A mountaintop, yeah.
Yeah. So it's up to Bungie. They got to nail it. But at the same time though, like I do think just having like really quality vanity rewards for PvP is usually enough for high level stuff because people want to flex.
So yeah, this is
Right?
what started this conversation I had this morning because I was like, read the notes and I said, well, what's the chase? Like, what are we chasing? And I was like, you need to put something in there. And then someone said, oh, well, you can't put good weapons in there because we're just going to go back to like mountaintop. I was like, well, that's not fair because that part of the game should be rewarded too. Like there should be a balancing thing rather than like just because you like PvP, you don't get loot. Like you need some chase in a loot and shooter, and I think cosmetics should be a big part of that. And it sort of, I think it is a bit disappointing to launch a whole rank system, and not have the rewards already there. Like they said, we'll get to it in the 12. They said they're still working on the cosmetics basically, and what rewards are there, but that feels like a little bit. I feel like if you redo a whole system, the rewards are integral to that because that impacts people playing the game.
Yeah, I agree completely.
And this is the thing is that like people absolutely will play comp to have see their rank go up.
Like. Yeah.
But showing off that rank is a big part of reaching that rank. And we haven't even heard anything of like other people being able to see your rank, even when you're in the match, right? And there's
interesting.
probably
It didn't occur to me that they didn't say that.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything that there'll be like a little like rank next to someone's name. There's no emblem showing that off. So there's really nothing outside of you knowing what rank you are that says you've reached that rank. I guess the
Do we
title.
just quickly explain what that is? It's going to be
do we
want to
just read the comp part first? Because that's probably where we'll spend the most time talking about anyway from the TWAB. So I'm just going to read the comp stuff. It's definitely the juicy one. So they're calling it the competitive division. And their goals are that all players can find a variety of balanced matches and feel competitive. A player's PvP division is a core part of their guardian identity, which I think is important for cosmetics as well, if it's a core part of your identity. Maintain places in the ecosystem to not engage in ranked play, but still have decently balanced matches, or to not engage in skill-based matchmaking at all. So what they're doing is they are launching in season 19, which is next season. They're calling it the competitive division, which is a ladder-based 3v3 ranked playlist. It's going to have Showdown, 3v3 Rift, and Survival in it.
3v3 Rift.
3v3 Rift. Yeah.
Interesting.
There's 7 divisions, and there's 3 subdivisions in there. So for example, like Bronze 1, Bronze 2, Bronze 3.
Yeah. Gold
1, Gold 2, Gold 3. So we've got Copper, Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, Adept, and Ascendant. Ascendant being the top one. Our goal is to provide players with ladders to climb and divisions to achieve, giving a more accurate representation of skill than our current glory systems. Players who surpass gold and begin to chip away at platinum, adept, and ascendant will represent some of the best crucible players that our community has to offer. So this is a high-level explanation of how things work. They're going to release an article closer to launch to go more in depth, but this is generally how ranked is going to work. So at the start of a season, you're going to do a placement series, during which you will not gain any division rating for the first 7 games. After the 7th game, you complete the placement series and are placed into a division based on skill. And then they do say here that for the first season, the highest you can get is Gold 3. And then in future seasons, you'll be placed closer to your previous competitive division, which is pretty standard for most.
It's all pretty standard, like ranks.
It's all pretty standard
stuff. Yeah.
Normally, games use like some kind of SBMM to initially place you in like where they think you are rank wise, and then they adjust you during those placement matches until you get your starting rank, basically.
Yeah. So like, I like all this so far. Like, I think this is good. I still think though it doesn't like address. It only addresses like a partial reason why people aren't playing Crucible right now, which is like the matchmaking side of stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't address the wanting content, maps, and weapons rewards, and
Yeah, and then when the
Cosmetics.
population drops, the connections suck, or the
And
higher the
it-
SBM you get, the connections suck.
Yeah.
and aerial accuracy. Anyway,
So as you continue to compete in the competitive division, your division rating is adjusted based on 4 major factors. So match outcome, whether you win or lose, division inflation, deflation, how far above or below your division is compared to your skill, match performance, how well you performed on a match to match basis, and player to lobby skill delta, how your skill compares to everyone else in the match. So
Yeah, cool.
essentially, if you are a lower skilled player in that match and you end up winning, you should get more points towards ranking up because you won a game that you technically shouldn't. And vice versa, if you lose a game that you technically should win, you lose more than you normally would, than average. And that's generally pretty standard. Like
Mhm.
there was a whole thing in League of Legends before where people were like, I might just need to make a new account because their matchmaking level was in such a weird spot that if they won, they'd get like 2 points when they're supposed to get like 70 because
Wow.
the game thought they were higher than they were. So they were just stuck getting 2 points per win.
Oh, right.
And it was so hard
Yuck.
to rank up because of that. So yeah, that's
This
also
makes me
pretty
think.
standard.
This makes me think it's more than just about winning and losing, though. Too like match performance means that even if you lose but you perform well, does that mean that you'll get points? Like if you went on like a 30 kill streak.
Yeah. Basically, it's like not so much pressure just to win or lose. Like if you perform well on the losing team, you're not going to like go down ranks immediately or anything like that.
Yeah, usually it's like if you lose but you did well, you won't lose much of your ranked points or however they do it. And then if like same case, if you win but you don't exactly perform particularly well, you'll gain some points, but you won't gain a ton.
Okay.
It's usually how it works. Okay. As you earn and lose division rating. If you gain enough rating to move up between subdivisions, for example, gold 2 to gold 1, you automatically enter the next subdivision. Same goes for moving down. If you gain enough rating to move up a division, for example, gold to platinum, you enter a promotion series where you must win 2 out of 3 games to be promoted to the next division. This is also the same when going down. So if you're about to go from gold to silver, you get in a relegation series where you win 2 out of those 3 games to remain, or if you lose, you go down. This is also
Oh,
pretty
so you actually need to
similar
win-
to a lot of things.
So you do actually need to win games to eventually change division.
Okay.
I think you'd have to. I think you'd
regardless of
have to
how
win
well you
games.
perform.
Period. Because usually, even if you perform really well but you lose, say you lose like 2 points, but if you perform really bad and you lose like 10, for
Okay.
example. But I think it's pretty. I haven't seen a ranked system where you usually gain points.
You just
for
lessen your
losing.
damage if you do well.
I think so. That's usually how it works, but we don't have complete
know yet.
clarification. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So that's also pretty standard. League of Legends does a similar thing. You know, you get your promotion series. If you win it, go up. But I do like that they actually have it for going down a division. A lot of games don't have that, so you have like a little bit of an extra chance of like, okay, I gotta win this and I won't get demoted.
Mm-hmm.
Now this thing, I think, is a little too much. Upon reaching gold or higher, your division rating is subject to decay on a weekly basis. You will lose division rating if you haven't played enough matches recently.
Damn.
A week is very short.
That FOMO is going to be real.
A week, you can't take a vacation.
Better
You can't go
log
home for
in.
the holidays.
Imagine if you're
Yeah, that's
traveling.
kind of rough.
A week is very short.
Yeah.
Like I see stuff like this for higher ranks than gold. It's normally people who are in like say top 500 ranks and they just don't want someone to get there and then hog one of those 500 spots.
Yeah, and just not play.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but even then it's usually like a month.
Is that how this works? Is there going to be a 500 top spots, or is it
I
just going to
don't-
be?
They haven't said
score-based
anything
only?
about that,
Okay.
so I wouldn't think so.
An emblem that is
I mean-
only active for that particular slot, and then if you get bumped out of it, the emblem changes. So like,
Like if,
Yeah, that would be
if
great.
Lego had gotten a special emblem for being like the #1 Rumble player.
yeah, But
What's the pressure like to keep that emblem?
yeah, but the emblem can change because you get like dropped or go higher.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
That would be some serious peacocking right there
Yeah,
for players,
that would be
right?
cool.
Yeah.
And that's what this is like. Seeing yourself improve and rank up is definitely a thing that is fun, and a lot of players enjoy that. But people do like showing off what they've achieved to other players.
Absolutely.
Especially in a game like Destiny, where it's, you know, we have so much loot and shaders and fashion and so many things that we do to customize how we look and what we show off to other people. And especially with Bungie saying that they want your competitive division rank to be a core part of your Guardian's identity.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they should add a lot of cosmetics to this.
Yeah. Well, there should be like an outward facing number too, like in matchmaking or like above your Guardian's head while you're running around in PvP.
That would be lovely. Or maybe, you know, the little sparklies on your head, a little halo.
An actual halo?
An actual halo.
Imagine messing with your loadout in the competitive division. Silly loadouts, random loadouts. Be like, you're competitive.
That's not what this is for. Your
division points are on the line, man. You got to play the meta,
right? Quick play should be for messing around.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. We don't have fun playing video games. They are very serious.
Rank.
No, I haven't had fun playing a video game since the Atari.
They do also
Serious
say
business.
that there will be an intro quest, but if you're a legacy or veteran player, like, you can go in right away. But they want to have an intro quest that demonstrates how it works, and you also get a reward for doing the intro quest. So the competitive division rewards. What are these rewards? I hear everyone cry out. What are we getting? Are we getting flashy emblems? Are they animated? Are we getting weapon ornaments? Or armor ornaments? Glowy? Do I get to be a cat like Trials that one time?
I feel like you're setting us up for disappointment.
Since competitive division is aimed at drawing a close link between skill and division, we don't see division as something to really grind for rewards. We don't want someone to feel pressure to play a ton of games looking for a drop, all while your division rating drops and ruins your division standing. Instead, we want the primary motivator to be your actual division. We aren't going to be adding any unique grindable rewards outside of those you can get anywhere in the Crucible, and really focus our rewards on weekly participation and achieving higher divisions. I'm going to keep reading. Secondly, we're going to be very careful about giving out high performance rewards for achieving higher divisions. Since these divisions are tightly tied to skill, some divisions will be completely unattainable to some players, no matter how much they try or play. Having some of the old pinnacle weapons tied to higher glory had some unfortunate effects on players and led us to eventually add numerous persistent features to the ranking system. To avoid that, we're going to initially keep rewards for achieving a higher division limited to efficiency rewards. Now, what are these efficiency rewards, you see? Something you've wanted your entire life, Briar. You are so excited.
Am I?
If you receive
You've
copper or
earned
bronze
playground
rank,
time.
you get 1 times reputation gains. You get silver, 1.1 times reputation gains. Gold, 1.2. Plat, 1.3. Adept, 1.4. Ascendant, 1.4 times multiplier on all Crucible ranks.
Hot damn!
Hot damn! You get more engrams. So this was my thought about this, right? In order for players to care about this, the rewards would have to be something that players care about, because you're leveling up and then you're resetting your rank. So if it was an Ascendant shard for every reset, I'd go, you know what? This is a nice little bonus. But it's not. It's an exotic engram. Most players who play a lot of Crucible don't even bother resetting their rank, because there's no reason for them to do it.
And snakes.
There's just nothing you need anymore. You have everything. I mean, because you don't get blue drops in Crucible anymore, you're just getting legendaries. You get like 50 freaking SMGs in a play session. You get so many. You get so many. And this is they're bringing focusing to the Crucible as well, so you can focus engrams for rolls and stuff. But like you just get absolutely drowned in the Crucible weapons. I don't even know if you really need to do that.
Yeah. Now it's going to be 1.5
So-
times the drowning if you're really, really good.
True, more drowning.
Yeah, more drowning.
More
So you're
likely
gonna
for
have-
me 1.0 times.
You're gonna have a couple of different motivations to play Destiny, right? Sometimes you play an activity to get the loot because you're like, I really want this. I might not really want to do this GM, but the reward is enough that I'm gonna persist with it with some friends to try grind a weapon. Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
The other reason you might play video games is because they're inherently fun and you enjoy the challenge. Bungie said that you're gonna have so much fun inherently in this new rank system that you don't need the reward chase.
Wait a minute. I disagree with you fundamentally because I used to play Halo competitive, and that's all that I was chasing was a bigger number. Like
So
the ranked
Yes,
system,
but-
I was literally just trying to get a bigger number.
Yeah,
I have
but
some-
I haven't finished. I haven't
no,
finished.
okay.
Okay.
I will piggyback
And
off of you. Lynn.
to complement what Brian just said, the reason why you probably liked it is because you like the combat. You actually enjoyed the experience. There are other things in Crucible that people are not enjoying, like the same maps, the map design, the other aspects of Crucible have not been enjoyable. And so, how are you going to populate this player base without an external reward like loot? And you say it's just going to be fun, but you haven't changed some of those other things.
I agree with that 100%. However, I do applaud this change because I do think it's a positive change to the game.
Oh, the playlist
have-
itself, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
For sure. But it needs
For
to come
sure.
with other stuff, I think.
So I have a question for playing Halo ranked. When you reached a rank in Halo, could other people besides you see your rank?
Hell yeah. That's why
Yeah.
I did it. I didn't give a shit about my rank. I was just trying to flex.
Well, Briar,
Show
there's
off
no
my
flexing.
elo. My big old
There's no flex?
E-peen.
There's no flex. You're not gonna have, as far as we know from what Bungie has told us in this TWAB, there is not gonna be anything that shows other players your current rank.
Yeah, they got to
That
put that right above
is
your head when you're in
such
PvP.
a miss. That is the reason.
That number should be right above your head instead of showing your light level or whatever. Who cares about all that stuff? Show my E-peen right above my head, or put it
Right.
better yet, make a cod piece with my number on it.
Right on the crutch.
Right. I mean, look.
I also have another thing that I think was really interesting that we read on stream. So there was someone responded. So DMG put out a tweet and it was like, how are we feeling about these things? And there was a lot of stuff that people were saying. One person responded saying, releasing it without a cosmetic for higher ranks seems kind of a bit of a miss. And
Yeah.
Griffin, who works at Bungie, he does not to call out Griffin. Griffin's a great guy. He does like the Destiny the Game Twitter kind of posts and stuff. He said, "Are the days of proving yourself and your rank being the reward simply over? My favorite PvP games of yore never had ranked rewards beyond your rank icon." And there were some really good points here. They were saying that Destiny is such an expressive game that not being able to show it off seems a little bit off for Destiny. Destiny is a looter shooter. It's not a PvP only game. Like, you have to create things based around the game that we're playing, right? And we have ghosts, we have shaders, we have ships, we have sparrows, we have ornaments. We have so many things to express ourselves. And with Bungie saying specifically that this is supposed to be an integral part of your Guardian's identity, I think that having cosmetics is really important.
Well, on top of that, the examples listed from the past still showed your rank number. So you could be like,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is a rank 50 coming in. Okay.
Yeah.
This is going to be a good PvP player. So like to not have the cosmetic chain in here, I think really is a huge miss for this, because a lot of people grinded for those weapons, but then also they grinded for the 5500 version because they wanted the
better version.
the better.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, they wanted all of the stuff to go along with it. You know,
Yeah.
like the
like the
emblem
skin
and
and everything.
the skin,
the
like
emblem. Yeah.
they wanted all that stuff with it. So to not have like they put so much effort into cosmetics for Eververse and PvE and the season stuff that it's really strange that they don't just slice off 10% of that and put some emblem / shader rework type of stuff that you chase for in this, along with showing your number.
It is worth saying really quick that they did say they are going to add. I'll read it verbatim because I don't want to misquote them, but they did say that they in the season's post Lightfall they're expecting to get further cosmetic rewards for competitive division, but they're still working out the details of what you earn, when you earn it, and how you earn it.
Cool.
So it is coming.
It's a beta test.
Yeah, but I think the criticism is they've done this whole rework and it's not. We know Bungie can make a lot of skins. We see that in
we
the
see
store
it every season. Yep.
So it does feel like a bit of a miss to do a whole rework of PvP and not have it there in some way.
Yeah.
And I think even bringing out the emblem, right? Just like they have the art asset for what Ascendant and Plat looks like, right? So just even having an emblem with that on it that you get when you reach it, I think would be like a bare minimum.
That would be the bare minimum
I would
chase.
agree.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with the comment, right? Like basically saying, can't games just be fun? Yeah, okay. Well, let's explore that a bit. Well, the game's 8 years old now.
No,
and it hasn't
of course
been,
they can't.
That like yes, we want it to be fun, but you need to make more maps. You need to make things that make it exciting. You need to make more game modes. Like look at Iron Banner. You know what? If there was a new game mode every season in ranked, hell yeah, I'll just play it for fun because I want that experience. But that content is not there. So I feel like that's why people are chasing rewards, because we are so motivated now, because, our live service model is very hard to produce this huge amount of content every season. And like, it's a bit shooting yourself in the foot because Bungie's created that.
They've created that culture.
You've created that culture of like not actually playing for fun, but like playing for loot in a loot and shooter. So it's like
100%.
You're now fighting it back against
35 lost sectors.
The monster of the Destiny community.
It's also just man, there was another comment that said the key point being PvP games of yore. Destiny isn't exclusively PvP and needs to be treated as such, more akin to WoW or Final Fantasy 14, where you got armor sets, mounts, or even just to play a card banner to keep people engaged. And that's what those games do. They are a mix of PvE and PvP, and in their PvP, they give you stuff that you can wear on your character to show what you've achieved.
Yeah.
It's like it's a thing that's been happening forever.
Look, Call of Duty doesn't matter what PvP game you pick. It's like that's how they keep you playing, is grinding skins.
Yeah,
grinding cosmetics.
I feel like it's been brought up many, many times over the years, and like it's a pretty obvious thing that like that's the carrot that needs to be chased when it comes to the PvP side of things. And I really feel like they have the resources to be able to have like, a few things refresh every season to reclimb or be in those high ranks to make people be like, oh, I need this season's emblem of that Ascendant or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. And so I will say that absolutely I'm very happy that we have like a ranked system. I remember having conversations very early on in D1 where we were like, can we just get like a traditional ranked system where it's bronze, gold, whatever, you rank up and you get cosmetic rewards for that. So we are finally getting it. I do understand people saying, as someone said a comment of, I would have been so happy to hear this 3 years ago. So I understand where people are coming from with that sentiment, right? Where it's like, we've wanted this for probably like 6 years at this point, and it's coming out not with all the things you want to bring with it. So I understand people being upset about that for sure. But I do like that it's a thing. I like that it's a thing they're going to be able to add to and make better. And ultimately, it is nice to have a reason to play PvP and to try hard instead of putting me in control where I have to try hard for nothing.
Yeah, I do suspect there's going to be a lot of players who are going to be highly motivated to get to gold, platinum, adept, and ascendant, right? It's like there are going to be players who are very, very motivated, regardless of if there's a cosmetic involved, just so you can, show to your friends that, yes, I am ascendant. I made it. I did the thing.
They're going to snap a picture and go straight to Reddit and be like, check me out, ascendant.
You would go to Twitter before they shut it down.
Yeah, Twitter's not going to be around by the time this is.
No,
Yeah.
that's not going to have to be there.
Yeah,
We
so
should make a
it's gonna be
DCP Reddit
Oh, yeah.
where people can
That's a good
talk
idea.
about.
I don't want to
us.
moderate that.
No, we'll make
No, we'd have
Mylan
to
do it.
pay
He's the
for
new guy.
You don't want me moderating it. I'll tell you that right now.
I have seen your chat, and I disagree.
You yell at people. You put them in their place. You're a great moderator.
He rolls with an iron boomerang.
And I keep coming back. Okay, so here's another thought I just had then.
Yeah.
So the kind of people that are interested in playing ranked for the sole reward currently when it launches of your division going higher are probably going to be people pretty interested in PvP.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be for the most hardcore, right?
So would you say you would actually you need the bell curve of PvP players to actually have an effective rank system? Because if it's only the top end playing,
Yeah.
does that system still function? So what I'm saying is rewards help increase population pools. Content rewards increase population pools, which help a rank system actually work. Because the
Right.
population's up there.
Do you think they're going to have bounties to get people to go in every week?
To give you an example, if I go play Trials of Osiris off peak, I literally verse the same people. And I'm worried that as an Aussie, I'm probably going to end up in the same boat.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
That is concerning. That's where you want to start adding maps and game modes and all the new stuff, right? Until they put maps in here into Destiny, I'm not super excited to get into PvP. It's just too much the same of what I've been playing for the last several years.
So I think to have this conversation, we probably need to mention what you do get for interacting with the competitive playlist.
Yes.
So I'll
Okay.
tell you that and we can discuss.
Okay.
So for our weekly participation reward, we're bringing back an old favorite. Rose is back. Rose was originally a legendary hand cannon earned during the Lumina Exotic Quest. It has a long history in Destiny. So it's a hybrid. It fires like a 140 RPM hand cannon, but allows you to move like a 150 and has stats that blend the two. Its perk list is built from popular consistency perks designed to highlight 3v3 play, random rolled grips instead of an origin perk. And the way that you earn it is when you complete your competitive division intro quest once per character, you get a drop with the perk selection Rose originally had. After the intro quest, you have character-based weekly competitive division challenge to earn another role. So every week, once per character, you can go into comp and you just have to play and you can earn a random role on Rose.
Well, there you go. Is that enough? I don't know.
Also, people will get the role they want eventually.
Yeah.
And then that kind of kills their involvement with it if it's not fun.
Mm-hmm. But they could do something every season, potentially.
They could, yeah.
To get
Yeah, they
people
definitely could.
just semi-interested in there. I know. It's just such a delicate balance because they can't have loot that's going to be too powerful. That's going to break the game. But it's got to be enough to get people in there. And they also can't put it super high on the reward tier. Otherwise, it's going to be limited to only a certain amount of people who are good enough at the game to be able to get it, which is going to cause problems. And then, it's a...
This is why
It's a
every
tough
other
nut to
PvP game
crack.
have worked this out and they've realized you just do cosmetics.
You do cosplay. Can I give you
And
an
it solves
example
this problem.
Gun
of a ranked
skins.
mode that I think does it really well and balances between achieving rank and just playing? And that is League of Legends. So League of
Never heard
Legends,
of it.
when you
what?
when you reach gold, you get a skin, a free skin once a year because it's a season. It's a year, so you get a skin every year at the end of that ranked thing. If you're gold or higher, if you're platinum, the skin has a different color on it. Diamond, a different color. But there's also rewards for just playing. So every so often they bring out kind of a reward track that you can play and you get like an emblem, which is a little icon, you can get an emote and get stuff like that. So as you're playing, you're getting rewards for just playing. Doesn't matter if you're winning, doesn't matter if you're losing, but there's also an incentive to get higher and higher ranks. And I think that's ultimately that's kind of just what you can do. You get rewards for playing and you get rewards for reaching a rank. And none of those things affect the game. Zero.
If you
There.
could get some crazy bedazzled ascendant emblem, people
I would
would
love to
chase that. Be like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm the top 10 of Bedazzled or the top 10 of the
I'm,
Ascendants.
I'm the top bedazzled.
Top
That's
bedazzled.
me.
People would
It's
go
You remember
crazy
the
over that.
Scarab
Mr.
Emblem,
Bedazzled.
right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Scarab
Trials?
Emblem was super cool.
People
Yeah.
people stayed in high level trials of Osiris in D1 to try and get the Scarab Emblem to drop.
And that was just random.
It was random.
It was
Yeah.
super rare, super random.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a ship in there too?
Yeah.
That was the same deal.
There was there was a bunch of stuff in there that was all random, so you just
This is before
played
tests.
until you got it.
Before ever showed
I,
up.
I ultimately think
man.
this is a great change to the game. I think
Yeah,
that the people who like think that the Crucible is fun and like playing competitive Crucible are going to get a lot of play out of this. I agree with you guys. They need to add reward, like cosmetic rewards. Hopefully they'll do that in the future.
Yeah.
But I do think this is a positive change to the Crucible.
I
Absolutely.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
I've been
everyone
pretty
can agree
negative, but
having it
I-
is
yeah.
good.
Yeah. Definitely.
I think I understand the negative response because, like you said, somebody said, "Oh, 3 years ago, I'd be excited about it." It's like I get it.
Right.
You know, there was a revamp and there was like this competitive push that just fell flat, or not fell flat. It fizzled really, and people are a bit burnt out by that. So, like you said, there's this culture that's been established with you grind the game for loot, whether you like it or not. You shut up and you take your loot. That's
Yeah.
the culture that they've created.
Take one bit of
Eat
loot,
shit,
go,
cash
go,
checks.
go.
You do your lost sectors and you shut up. We'll see you next week.
It's funny using the argument like, don't people want to play for fun when everything else of the game forces you into playlists that you don't want to do, that you
That's
don't
true.
find fun to grind pinnacle things so you can do the things you actually like doing.
Boy, you really make me want to just quit Destiny there.
Guys,
But here's
Oh,
the thing.
man.
Yes.
I am an advocate for playing games just because they're fun, but that
For sure.
means you need to come to the party in like making PvP a focus. And I
Yeah.
feel like collectively
Yeah.
people feel like PvP has not been a focus. And
I don't
objectively,
think
you
people-
could say
I don't think
it
that's a
hasn't
feeling.
been.
I think that's a fact.
Yeah, with the number
Yeah.
of maps, number of like updates, the way that it's been rolled out, I think you could say objectively it has not received focus compared to Destiny 1.
Yeah. Well,
can I bring up something else that is kind of important about the ranked playlist?
yeah.
So, the ranked playlist is using a new skill-based matchmaking setting built using concepts we developed for loose SBMM tuning, but tightened to match you more closely against opponents of your skill. How do you feel that it is
Loose
using...
SBMM gives me panic.
How
Yeah.
do you feel about the ranked playlist matching you based on skill and not rank?
Wait, isn't that the
Isn't-
whole point of a ranked system?
Yes.
To have rank, to match based on your division?
Yes.
So
Like
it's
if
not?
I'm playing most other games, right? If I'm gold 1, I'm playing low plat players, high gold players, etc., etc. I'm not going to be
Shouldn't
in
they-
gold 1 playing like plat 20 or whatever.
Shouldn't they
But-
work
Diamond.
themselves out to be roughly equivalent though? Like high skill players are going to end up in high.
so.
But
Like-
is this their answer for the inevitable top end being a ghost town, like Mylin you were talking about?
Yeah, I think it could definitely be the reaction of player population. A
Mhm.
lot of PvP games, like if you're in the high end, people literally just wait an hour to get into a game because it's like that for every game. Obviously, I would assume Destiny is less willing to do that. The problem is that when with a ranked system and it's matching you based on ranked, it's like I'm in gold because I beat players in silver. I'm in plat because I beat players in gold. But if you are beating players and like we never meet each other because I'm over here and you're over here and we're like completely different skill settings, but we're the same rank, but we've never played the same pools, it just kind of makes reaching Ascendant not mean as much.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we're all playing in the same pool because this is the gold pool and this is the plat pool, then me reaching that rank means more because we have done the same thing.
Yeah, hence to them
We've been
saying
on the
these
same journey.
divisions. The reason for the
Yeah.
divisions, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's strange.
It does feel like adding an extra step that doesn't need to be there.
You know what? It feels like them beating around the bush saying we don't have dedicated servers, so we need to implement the system this way to be as peer-to-peer as possible, so we don't have to completely revamp the entire system to account for better netcode.
We'll see. It is just a bit weird. Because like I feel like they're kind of meshing two different matchmaking things. Like the reason you have placement matches is because the game takes your skill, matches you with similar people. After your placement matches, you get ranked, and then you match based on your rank. Like that's kind of the point for placement matches, is to get you in a roundabout right rank to start ranking up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just I saw it and it just confused me because games have been doing this for so long and they just match based on ranked, and I don't know why we're doing it really different.
But those other PvP games have servers and dedicated infrastructure for the games, and like Destiny's unique in that they want you to be able to play with anyone around the world that might be your friend. Like if your friends literally around the world, like you should be able to play. And this system technically goes against that like mission statement of what Destiny is, having those competitive levels.
I have questions. I came away from this TWAB with just a lot of questions, really.
Actually,
do you think it's to do with like having a fire team, so you don't like Smurf?
Did they mention if you could be Ascendant with a buddy who's Copper?
They didn't. So this is another question that I had, because there's nothing in the TWAB that talks about playing with people of different ranks at all. Yeah. I
think what this will help with is taking the pressure off quick play. And I think that's really needed, because quick play needs to go back to being quick play.
Like casual.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's like gonna inherently help with that. And if there is a sweat lord mode, and I don't think if you're gold and your friend's plat, I think you're in the plat pool. You got to put up with it. I think that's just going to be the way it is, right? Like, is that not how other games work? You don't get to abuse.
Depends. It usually
lower
does.
populations, or does it average it out?
Sometimes they average it out. Yeah. Sometimes it goes to the higher. Normally, a lot of the ones that I've played, it just averages it out. But of course, if you're like silver and your friend's plat and you're playing in gold, it's going to be harder for you, easier for them. So it's I don't know. I have questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have questions.
But yes.
I also want to know. I would really like to know what cosmetics as well. I don't need to know what exactly they're gonna be, but are you thinking emblem? Are you thinking shader?
Glows.
Are you thinking ghost? What are you thinking?
Warlock bonds exclusively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just Warlock bonds. Not even the other classes.
Okay. Yeah.
How about a hunter cape that gets longer depending on how much you rank up?
So you're repeating?
Yes.
A little bit longer in
I want
silver, a
that.
little bit longer still in gold.
When you're ascendant, can you trip over it? Get stuck on your feet?
Yeah.
Wrapped around your legs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a constant tether. It gets caught on the corners of of the map and like pulls you back.
Perfect. That's what I want.
It's a debuff. It's a cape debuff.
I agree though, Watts. I think that's the main kicker that's going to get a lot of people interested in climbing ranks. Right? Because there'll be the initial push for the rank, and then it's going to wear off after they've done that.
It will.
Yeah. But if there's the cosmetics that are interesting to chase, that will continue to get people in there and want to flex, because the need to flex in video games is real.
Yeah, it is. They're gonna have to refresh that cosmetic.
Yeah, every season.
Frequently.
Just like they do the tests.
Every season. Yeah.
Which they don't do. They don't even do that for trials.
But they're going to have to. If they want this to be a healthy part of the game,
the only thing they do that for is Eververse.
Yeah, I know. And they have to stop like only doing that to Eververse or in the PvE side of things. Like they actually need to slice off 10% of that. 10% of that needs to come over to this to get people really interested in.
To be a shader, man. Like imagine it's like, oh my god, did you see the new comp shader for Ascendant this season? Oh my god, I might have to play. Holy crap.
Well, how good was that Crucible shader that was like that Bloodstain one? Whatever that's called.
That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's
You
very
know?
appreciated. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, so we'll see what those cosmetics end up being. We'll see how the population ends up being, I suppose. But either way, I'm happy that they're putting it in the game. It is unfortunate that it took such a long time to get something that people were legitimately asking for, like a year after Destiny launched.
Yeah.
It was so weird that it wasn't there after it had been there in Halo from the people who made Halo, right? It was just
Yeah.
Because there's so much discussion about it being different, Destiny's own version of it, and like reinventing it in a way to be unique to Destiny. And we're coming back to it like essentially being what other PvP games have, but not quite because they don't have the cosmetics in there just yet. So, anyways, I think it's good. It's a step in the right direction for
Overall good.
Destiny.
Yeah.
The franchise. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've been pretty critical today, but in general, like I think this is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Yes.
think,
For sure.
yeah.
I think it's a pretty fair criticism to look at something like the Eververse store and then look at how much PvP's been neglected and then see like a revamp and not see cosmetics from the launch. And I think that's pretty fair criticism of that.
You know, all these exotic, versions of guns and all that ornaments, like dude,
things I've never seen before. Like I'd never gone to the store and just like there's something always in there.
it's loaded, right? You go, huh? All these drops that don't exist in the game because they're in the Eververse.
Yeah, no to mention it like emotes as well.
Yeah.
Like
There's so much. Like, this is the thing. Bungie has access to many, many things that they can do. It doesn't have to be something that's super expensive to make. Like I assume like armor ornament set would be a lot more expensive. Whereas an emblem, we've seen that Bungie is pretty good at making emblems somewhat quickly. They have a fast turnaround. Like emblems, I don't know how difficult it is to make an emblem, but it at least seems like emblems are not particularly difficult to make.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. They need an emote where you whip out a scroll, it drops down, and it shows your rank.
Yes.
So you can
Yeah.
headshot someone and then drop the scroll, be like, ascendant, bitch.
Yes. They should. You know, in Fortnite, they have an emote that's a crown and it shows how many crowns you've won, like how many times you've won a game
Wow.
with a crown, and it has a whole animation. Obviously, Fortnite has $12 bajillion trillion, but it would be very nice to have something similar to this
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing.
How about an emote where you teabag your opponent, and every time your ass hits the floor, you fart out like a cloud in the shape of your rank?
Your rank.
rank.
Hmm.
Even better.
Yeah.
Right?
The top 50 have unique fart clouds.
Yeah.
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 It seems like a good use of development time.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about 3v3 Rift? 'Cause that's going to be in the playlist. 3v3 Rift.
I don't know what to think
It
about
sounds
that.
like on a big map, it might be really kind of boring, honestly.
You're gonna have to get the hot mics out. Proximity chat and Destiny is gonna be a thing if you're doing solo.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no way they would ever have prox chat. Bungie wants you to never talk to people ever. Ideally.
Well, I mean, sorry, not to enemies, but to your teammates. You have to activate in-game voice, surely. Otherwise, 3v3
opt-in.
Rift is gonna be rough.
Got to opt in, yeah.
Solo. So
Yeah.
a lot of coordination, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how that's
I think
going
on
to
a
play
small
out.
map, it could be really exciting and fun. On a big map, I think it'd be too easy to just like run, and never see anything.
Yeah. Wander off into the corner of the swamp. Start, making a stew. While you're playing.
Yeah, I think I would like to see the coordination of 3v3, but like it will be fun with a team. It will be fun with comms. It will be awful
With the
with
solo?
teams who are not coordinated, and that's pretty much how that will go.
Well, that's one of those things that's going to change in terms of the culture of the game is people's expectations of if you go into this competitive mode, like people expect it. If you're gold or higher, people are going to expect you to know how to play that particular round. And if you're not doing it correctly, like there's going to be some toxicity coming your way.
I would imagine you're not going to get that high if you don't know how to play.
You should, right? If you're not playing Rift correctly.
Because I assume it's gonna be random, right? You're not gonna be able to choose which game mode you get. It's gonna random
It's gonna
between
be
the
random,
yeah.
Yeah.
So get used to it.
Better get good. Y'all gonna learn today.
I don't know.
Yeah, you
Maybe it's
wanna
gonna be
hear-
super fun.
You want to hear something that is just a positive thing? Just positive,
Yeah.
no negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fire team based matchmaking. So starting in season 19, they're going to be testing a new quick play matchmaking parameter that should excite most of you, which it does. Fire team based matchmaking. So what it means is essentially if you are in a full team of 6, you are generally going to match against another full fire team, or though if there's not a full fire team, they'll find like fire team of 5 and a solo. They try to get you as close as possible to what you are queuing up as. If you're solo, they'll try and get solos. If you're a full
I
team,
must be
they'll try
dumb.
and get
That's not in there already.
Yeah, this isn't
No.
already what the game does?
No.
They try to?
No. That's why we have freelance.
But
Yeah,
I feel
but
like they've mentioned
assumed that
so
it
many
was
times.
trying to get 6v6s against
No.
like 6s against 6s
It's
and 5s against 5s.
skill-based matchmaking.
Okay, I honestly
my God.
thought that it would take the skill of the team and then try to find another 6-stack, and if it doesn't, then it starts splitting down. But apparently that technology never made it into the
When we
release.
played Iron Banner like this week, we were going like mercing people with very quickly in a full 6
Yeah.
stack. Like they weren't getting over 10 points.
Huh. I could have swore I feel like we've read stuff in the TWAB about them talking about the matchmaking, how like it's trying to orient teams versus teams, but obviously if it
This is
doesn't
what
happen.
they wanted to make. They talked about in the TWAB wanting to make this, and they've been working on it for a while.
Oh,
It's
okay.
always been a pie in the sky. It was never reality. I see.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
their
finally
hope
happening.
with this is that they're not going to necessarily need freelance playlists anymore. They can just have one pool, and fire team based matchmaking will try and match solos, so you don't have to worry about it.
Well, I'd rather keep the freelance playlist until they know it works for sure.
Well, that's why they're testing it in quick play, and then eventually they'll put it into like trials and all other
That'll be good
things.
for trials and that.
That'd be great because then you wouldn't have to wait for a freelance
Yeah.
weekend as a solo
Yeah.
player to play trials. You could just go whenever and know that you're going to be with solos against solos, or you're going to have a duo and they'll have a duo. And
I think overall
that'd be
these
great.
changes to like consolidate the playlists and just sort of bump up the population by matching people in different ways will be a good thing.
Yeah.
Definitely. Also, like just while we mention trials real quick, they don't have any changes to the flawless pool for season 19, but they are working on a new paradigm that removes the flawless pool, but still provides protection for players working on trials rep rewards. Don't know what that is, but they're wanting to do it. They said that their goal is to have a trials labs during season 20. So that would be the season of Lightfall.
Okay.
With this new non-flawless pool thing.
Yeah, where does trials sit with the division stuff coming out in the game?
Well, it's the only place you can play elimination outside of private matches now. And of course, the armor and the weapons are totally different, and it's only the weekend. They actually say, this might actually be a good time for me to read this real quick, is they have their goals, their player experience goals for each of these things. So casual crucible, quick play rotators, and labs. Find a fair game, make friends, and stay as long as you're having fun. Which is funny with quitter penalties. What if I'm not having fun? Am I allowed to leave?
Welcome to Destiny.
No.
Stay out of the
No.
playlist for quitting, ruining other people's experience. Damn it.
Stay as long as you're having fun. Can I leave? I'm having fun.
No. Iron Banner, week-long celebration of PvP in Destiny that draws in everyone. Trials of Osiris, prove your skill and build against worthy rivals. Ranked play, fair matches, measure yourself, growth you can see and feel, stakes are always high, and then private matches, so do what you want. So their real life comparison, trials they say is a high stakes pro-am tournament, and ranked play is a local recreational league.
Makes sense.
Does it?
Yeah.
With
Well,
Ascendant?
because I think the cadence of trials like over the weekend and having to get 7 wins back to back. Yeah, it's like a tournament, right? Like it's a short-lived tournament every weekend. Whereas ranked is like a seasonal, thing that you
It's gonna be something
slowly
you do
chip
like
away
day to
at.
day, just kind of grind away at to try and improve
Yeah.
at. Whereas
Yeah.
trials
Yeah.
is much more like a
A burst,
tournament.
a sprint. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
There's a lot. So there's a lot of other things. I think we probably want to definitely touch on Iron Banner.
Oh yeah.
So let's do that. So Iron Banner is getting a new game mode called Fortress.
Ooh.
So it says here, the core gameplay is capturing and holding zones. If that sounds like zone control to you, you'd be right. However,
Okay.
the real fun begins when Keitel gets involved. And they don't tell us exactly, but the picture they have is multiple of the Cabal turrets shooting.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Are you being
Interesting.
shot at? Do you get those if you cap a zone? Do those spawn when you're
I'm-
trying to cap a zone? Does Keitel say Darkness Guardians and then suddenly they all spawn up somewhere?
You probably
Yeah, I
have to
know.
carry one of those big Cabal spanners.
Yeah.
Like slowly across the map to build a turret.
Yeah.
And everyone's
it's-
gonna protect you.
That would actually be pretty fun. They say zone control, you'd be right, but then right at the end here, they say, let's just say a few of you may be dying to cap a hill, which makes me think like it's King of the Hill more so
Ooh.
than zone control.
Right.
Okay, this makes me interested in playing Crucible just for fun.
Yeah.
Because it's a new mode, and you're like, oh, I want to hop in on January
Yeah.
3rd and see what it's like.
Funny
Yeah.
how I don't give a shit if it's got cosmetics. I'm gonna get it and give it a shot.
Yeah, it's got that new factor.
Huh?
Well, you know what else it does have, Mylan? Cosmetics! They're bringing
Really?
back an Iron Banner armor set from the Taken King. This is the one where the hunter had the wolf.
Oh,
yeah.
Wolf
it's a
hat,
good one. Yeah.
wolf
Oh
cape.
yeah.
Yeah. They're bringing that back from the Taken
Yeah.
King. And
Tight.
also, you're getting an auto rifle and a slug shotgun. And you're getting this Iron Banner armor and a new mode.
Yeah, that's cool.
Iron Banner gets the most attention for something that shows up twice.
Yeah, it's true.
This is what TV was saying, right? This is exactly what True Vanguard said last week,
The
where he was like,
blueprint for what you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
this is what I want. This is it. It's like,
This is what
we
you
get it
want.
twice a season.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
literally 2 weeks for 3
2
months.
weeks.
New game modes, armor, cosmetics.
The new
Like,
map we
okay,
got
okay, new map.
was for Rift.
In
Just
fairness,
There for a blip.
when we were having Iron Banner every other week, everybody was like, "Oh, it's just another Iron Banner." Nobody even mentioned it.
Yeah.
But that's because they didn't have the new stuff. They didn't have a new mode. They didn't have any kind of like new rewards. It's like they fixed that problem. But then they're like, but let's just take it away. So you can't touch this.
I'd be down for once a month. The season's 3 months. Having Iron Banner once a month, I'd be totally fine with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Having
how it
like
was
a
before. It
2-month
was like once a
break
month.
is kind of crazy.
Especially when there's new modes that you're only going to play in that game mode.
Right.
Like it's weird. So it's dichotomy. Strange.
But do you want to know what else they're adding to Iron Banner?
Tell me more.
Skill-based matchmaking.
No, tell me less.
Team based or how it was before.
Skill-based team. Well, I'm sure that will be
it
fire team
loose?
matchmaking.
Yeah. We talk about
Apparently-
loose SBM, kind of
Here, I'll
SBM, SBMM from D1, the SBMM that wasn't SBMM but was active but wasn't active.
Iron Banner is going to be moving to loose skill-based matchmaking. Also, it replaces the quick play mode. So you won't be able to play quick. Oh, quick play is going to have Clash, by the way.
Right.
Quick play is going to be Control and Clash. And Iron Banner replaces the quick play mode when it's here.
We talked about that. We talked about like separating the population into the playlists too much, like just to bundle them
Yeah.
all together and rotate through them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. Wait, sorry, I was laughing over Loosey Goosey SBMM.
Loosey Goosey SBM is pretty great.
It is pretty good. So Guardians, this is your final Iron Banner without skill-based matchmaking. So enjoy it while you can.
Yeah, it's also one of those things that seems weird that it didn't have it. Like they put in SBMM, but not this mode. I don't know.
It's unfortunate because so what I was saying earlier with chat is that they're gonna have this rotating 6v6 and free for all. So the weekly rotator is gonna have momentum control, mayhem, team scorch, rift, and rumble, and that's connection based matchmaking. But out of those modes, there's like nothing that really hits the same feel as Clash or Control, really. So if you are looking for that 6v6 experience of Clash or Control type
True.
gameplay, you now don't really have anything that doesn't have skill-based matchmaking. And that's
True.
why I was really excited for Iron Banner, because I was like, I can play with whoever. I'm not going to make your matches worse. You're not going to make my matches worse. We can just group up, do whatever. For this 1 week, we can enjoy a 6v6 mode where we don't need to worry about all the problems that come with skill-based matchmaking. And now we don't really have that outlet.
Yeah.
I agree. Holy.
Crucible Labs also has connection-based matchmaking. That's going to be 3v3 Rift. So.
Yeah. Why? Like, I don't think I think almost universally, everyone's like, you know what? Iron Banner feels pretty fun. New game mode feels pretty good. Having a good time. Why change it?
Yeah. Also with the division stuff coming in, like that seems like that's where they should focus on, your SBMM type of stuff. Doesn't really need to be in other places if they're going to have it in this other mode that's going to actually track and rank you.
Especially something that doesn't like
Very
show up very often. I don't know. It feels like Iron Banner is probably the best playlist at the moment and has the most population and the most variety in gameplay.
They even like listed out all the PvP modes and like their population in the squad.
They
They
do,
did, didn't
yeah.
they?
They did.
Average population and playtime per player. Iron Banner is high on both of them. I think it's the only one that's like that.
It is, yeah. It's the only one that's high population, high playtime per player.
So why add SBMM if their stats are literally telling you that the players are playing the game longer in that mode?
It is interesting. It is interesting that it's like, okay, Iron Banner, our highest population, highest playtime. We're gonna change that.
We don't like the. We don't like the.
It's interesting.
Don't you be outperforming Iron Banner. Don't be making everyone else look bad, okay? We're going to knock you down a bit. So people go into other modes.
Yeah. So, we're getting a new title. It's called Glorious. And this is for participating in the competitive, basically. It's got things like earn Crucible ranks, complete matches of different game types, complete your placement series, complete matches in the competitive playlist, stuff like that. There is also achieve platinum division of any season. So that's going to be the thing that's
going to be the hold up for some people.
Yeah.
Not for us, of course.
I mean, I'm relying on you because I didn't get a chance to go through all of this. Did we cover all the big points?
I feel like there's probably something that I'm missing.
Glorious. Not bad.
Glorious is not bad.
Glorious. Not bad at all.
I'm glad that Iron Banner's getting a bunch of stuff. It's nice. Oh, there is the Crucible engram focusing. One nice quality of life is that you are going to be able to focus an engram that Shax has. You don't have to pull it before you can focus it. So that is nice.
Oh, nice.
New matchmaking techniques. Oh, quitter suspensions. We can mention this real quick.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yes. They're going to be lowering the amount of suspension time handed out for serial quitting in quick play. They're adding the amount of time remaining to all suspension messages and made the message trigger when clicking on the node so you know how much time you have left. And they say as we continue to roll out both the new matchmaking techniques, fire team-based matchmaking, etc., which addresses many of the player feedback surrounding SBMM and quick play, we will be reevaluating the need for a quitter penalty in quick play at all. So it might go away.
Good.
I'm sorry. That'd be like ideally the place that doesn't have a quitter penalty where you can play as long as you're having fun, and when you're not, you can leave. But you know, you don't want people doing that in ranked, and don't want people doing that in trials or whatever. So
Right, exactly.
that's where when you start impacting other people's ranks, then yeah, you should 100% have a quitter penalty.
Yeah, for quick play, if their goal is that it's to pick up and play and put down when you're not having fun, then there shouldn't be quitter penalties.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, maps. We should mention maps real quick.
Oh yeah.
So for the coming year, they're going to be bringing back 2 maps from earlier in Destiny 2, and then a brand new map which will release in the year of Lightfall. So 3 maps next year, 1 new map.
It's going to be massive. The biggest map they've ever made. Every game mode sucks on it, and you're going to like
With
it.
3 swamps.
It's gonna be another Trials of the
3
Nine
swamps.
map because everybody loves those.
It's gonna have a Trials of 9 section and Savathun Swamp section.
Yeah, imagine First Light, but twice as big, and it's gonna have 3v3 Rift on it.
I wonder what the
don't
hold
you
up
dare
is
quit.
with new maps in the Crucible.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why
Oh.
don't they release more of those? The community clearly wants them. Is the PvP population so low that it just doesn't warrant the developer time to create these maps?
I don't know.
yeah.
The one good thing we have from this part of the TWAB is that they do say if you have experience creating gameplay spaces and want to join us, check out the careers page. So that makes me think that maybe they are trying to get more map designers to maybe make more maps.
What was the cadence in Destiny 1? Does anyone know of how often a new map would
like
come out?
2 or 3 new maps per DLC.
Yeah,
Let's
I would think so. That's about right.
What was the first?
Because I think I
DLC?
saw some post
Dark
about
Below
it, and
is
it
the
was
first DLC.
it was quite huge how many D1 maps were put out.
Yeah, they were constantly adding new maps.
Mm.
Some of them were terrible. We were like, keep that one on PlayStation. Nobody wants that.
Yeah, that's right.
But you know
Sector
what? That's sort of the
618?
deal when you make
More like Sector
think, like,
61.
if you-
Nope.
I think if you get lots of maps, everyone expects there'll be a couple maps that just no like. Say, missed that one. So we're gonna miss.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Move on.
Yeah.
This is I'll go get a beer while this map plays out. You know. Stay
Yeah.
playlist.
Instead, it feels like Bungie's like, fine, we're just not going to make maps. You're not going to like these
Yeah,
maps?
yeah.
We're going to stop making them.
Mm.
Yeah.
So in the Dark Below, they had Pantheon, Skyshock, and Cauldron that launched.
3 maps. Yeah.
Let's see. House
Yeah.
of Wolves.
It really feels like there are 2 to 3 new maps per large expansion until Destiny went into the seasonal model.
House
Haven't
of
House
Wolves
Wolves.
had Black Shield, Widow's Court, Timekeeper, and Thieves' Den. 4.
4.
Yeah.
It was also a Trials release.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trials launch.
That was the first time I've made lore videos. Seriously. That's Wolves. They released the first lore book, the Maraid or whatever, about the Reef Wars. Oh, they were kicking goals there. Jesus. Lore book, 4 PvP maps, tribes. Yeah, I think that's like, oh, you've already outdone D2, right? With 7 new maps within 2 expansions, 2 seasons.
Taken King also had 4. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like 2 to 4.
Well, I remember in the Halo days, if they had like an expansion, it was kind of like you add 3 maps with this expansion.
Yeah.
You know, like this is what it is, and then obviously Forge and all that. Not that it needs to follow that rule or anything, but I kind of
Right.
felt like with Destiny they were following that formula, like add
One
two,
per year is a bit crazy.
yeah, or one per 3 years. How long was it?
Yeah.
Th-
It was a while.
Some insane amount of time. Year and a half, 2 years.
You
Yeah.
want to do some Twitter
Yeah.
questions?
Is there anything else in the TWAB?
Yes.
I feel like there's more
So
stuff.
there's besides the Crucible stuff, which there's still a lot that we haven't really delved into, but there's going to be a community event
Mhm.
next week, and this is improving the Elixni quarter. So the way this is going to work is starting next Tuesday, you are going to be asked to collect treasure in the form of captain's coins and help Spider with improvements and upkeep while Misrax and Ido devote their time to researching the relics of Nezarec. So you're going to find captain's coins in destination chests, lost sectors, public events, season of plunder activities, King's Fall raid, Dares of Eternity, strikes, Crucible, and Gambit. And you're going to be able to track your own donations with an emblem, upgrade materials, and a new swashbuckling ghost shell. And yeah, it's basically go get coins,
Do
build up
activities,
Elixni quarter.
upgrade their digs.
And it only
Okay.
lasts for a week. So we were
Was it just
talking
one
about
week? I thought it
this
was
and
2 weeks.
Is it the last week of season? No. When is it? Next week? The week after?
it's next week. Next Tuesday.
Okay.
So people were saying that, so you know the Telesto thing that happened, the Telesto event, they were changing what Telesto did kind of every day. It changed how it shot. So people were saying that maybe that was kind of a little bit of a test for them changing the Elixni quarter every day because it's only going to last a week. So maybe there'll actually be a way to go to the Elixni quarter and see it change, which would be nice.
I think it's 2 weeks. It says community
Oh,
event
is it
only
2 weeks?
lasts only lasts for 2 weeks. So tell your friends, assemble a fire team. Yeah, it says 2 weeks on here.
So does that go to the end of the season? When is the next season?
Yeah. 6th of December.
Mm.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be 2
Yeah,
weeks.
yeah, that is. So the end of this community event when we upgrade the Elixni quarter will be the end of the season.
Here's your epilogue.
I hope something happens.
Imagine that's it. You're like, do strikes, put the coin in, fix this place. It's a fixer upper.
Well, they did say that while Mithrax and Ido are experimenting on the relic, so it's
They did mention that.
copium. It's still there.
We're upgrading the quarters so they can resurrect Nezarec. That's what's happening.
Yes, they can destroy it again.
Proper chamber for Nezzy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A temple, one might say.
All right. This is a big twab.
It is a massive twop. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. They were saying that they're trying to keep it below 6,000 words, and they're like, did not happen.
Nah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for keeping us on track as usual, Watts.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome.
Excellent. Excellent work as always.
We covered most things. Like
Yeah.
we didn't get into all the nitty gritty of every single thing, but most stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of the big items.
Yeah.
And again, I do think it's worth mentioning again that it's great that they are bringing updates to the PvP system. And I really want to see a healthy PvP in this game, along with a healthy PvE.
Yeah.
Because that's, I think, where Destiny is going to be at its peak when both of those are thriving.
Yeah. Absolutely. Also worth noting there is no TWAB next week.
Yep. Because Turkey Day.
Oh, that's right. There's also no show next week.
Okay, Turkey Day. I can't have turkey.
No
You
turkey.
can't have turkey.
You're allergic to poultry?
I'm
He's allergic to birds.
Yep, birds.
Actually
all birds.
allergic to poultry. Wow.
I am. Yeah, I am. Kind of chicken, turkey, pheasant, duck,
Eggs?
quail.
Emu?
No, I can have eggs.
You can't have eggs,
I
really?
haven't had it. Yeah.
Huh. Imagine eggs would be off the menu if you have a poultry allergy.
I know.
Strange.
Not though.
What about chicks? Can
Yeah,
you eat-
baby chicks.
Yeah, baby chicks.
I haven't tried, but I ate like quail and stuff in England, so
But
that was okay?
balut.
no, it wasn't okay.
Oh. Filipino
Well,
delicacy. Filipino delicacy. Balut. Embryonated egg. You slurp it out. Probably allergic to that, huh?
Oh, yeah, I don't think that would happen.
Same. Same. It's a hard pass for me as well.
I feel like I might be allergic to that too.
Yeah.
When does the bird cutoff happen? Like, are emus okay? Are big birds okay? Or is it just anything with penguin? Is penguin?
I don't think you eat penguin.
Fry a penguin?
Speak for yourself.
You could eat a penguin. Come on. They're pretty big. Have you seen? I mean,
I want to know where the cutoff is. Maybe it's just all things with wings. How would we know?
I've tried a lot. So enjoy your turkey day.
Yeah, we won't have a
Well,
podcast,
you guys don't.
right?
You guys.
Yeah, no
It's only
podcast.
Brian that eats it anyway.
True.
That's right.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
wrong.
Is there an impossible turkey?
There's
They've-
impossible
yeah.
roasts and stuff. Yeah, they're really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
actually.
they've
I
been
don't
making
believe
that damn good. The impossible meats. The options, you know.
Yeah.
All right, Briar.
Witter.
Engage.
Twitter.
Twitter.
All right. Thomas says, have any of you guys thought of an entirely new weapon like how SMGs and grenade launchers were added to Destiny 2 you would want to see in the game?
I think they did really good with glaives, to be honest.
And Glaze was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think more melee weapons in general would be interesting. It's tough when it's first person to make that an interesting look.
Yeah. It's tough to make those like feel good,
Yeah.
like connect well. Although they did
Mm-hmm.
a great job, even going back to
Oh,
Destiny
that's
1 with
right.
the swords.
Mm-hmm. True. It needs like a grapple thing. I mean, I guess
You're
we're kind of
getting that
getting
with
that
Strand, right?
with Strand, but
Strand.
like, imagine if it was a weapon type, you like get different grapples that did different things.
Yeah.
Everyone just sounds like they're just repeating weapons from Monster Hunter. Gun lance.
So it's a blade, but it's two of them. They pull apart, and you do a little spinny spin.
Do wield weapons. Yeah, you know what's worse than one shotgun in the crystal? Two shotguns.
I guess the answer is no. Kane Shin Phoenix says, how do you feel about the week of the Bungie event Trollesto? Do you feel that Bungie could implement different bugs to exotics for fun? And should they spice gameplay up a bit?
It sent people on a wild goose chase, that's for sure. And
Yeah.
depending on your perspective, that could be fun.
Well, it's fun
Right?
for me watching from afar.
Yeah.
I don't really have much of an opinion about the Telesto thing, if I'm honest. I didn't play Trials during that point. But although to have a point about what Mylan was saying earlier about PvE and PvP ruining PvE or whatever, this was an event that made a lot of PvP players pretty upset. Because it kind of broke the crucible for the week while they were messing around with Telesto.
Yeah, what was going on with that? Telesto was just super good. It was.
Super good. It
Yeah.
didn't have a delay on the explosions anymore.
Oh wow, yeah.
Oh, right.
And it could kill people from super far away.
That's why it was so highly regarded and annoying a lot of people.
I don't get
Yeah.
why people get so upset when they know something's going away like the next day. It's like you only have to deal with it for a day or 2
it's
days.
the
Well,
internet.
a week.
Well, not even because like it was changing every day, right?
It was shooting like the celestial stuff for a day, and then after that, it was the really strong version. So, okay, 6 days,
Well, right.
And Trials was only around for 3 days, 4 days.
4 days.
I don't know. People get so upset. It's like this is so temporary.
I mean, like, I think it's all about context and like, they would have gone down fine if in general people were happy with the amount of like content that had been put out, or we had other secret missions or whatever. You know, I just think because it was a bit of a dry spell, it just didn't go down very well.
I think it's reasonable for people to enjoy trials and be upset that their experience of the one thing that they're enjoying in PvP has been ruined. I think it's
Yeah.
reasonable for them to be a little upsetty when PvP isn't in a great spot and they're like, "Oh, trials is here," and then they're like, "Oh crap, it's like
Yeah.
one of those things where it's the
This gimmick
Celestia.
ended up ruining it. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be a fun thing.
So I do totally get it.
Celtic Stone says, which activity would you rather do? 1. Gambit, but instead of invasions, you could force a Crucible sudden death match at each bank boss health gate. 2. Nightfall with no weapon, but Mayhem and Daybreak abilities. 3. Sparrow Racing League, but with Mario Kart abilities. Easy sounds pretty fun, honestly.
3.
3.
We already
for
have
sure.
2 in the game.
That's true.
The way it currently is, you have to use a weapon.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not using weapons right now anyway.
Mario Kart,
Yeah.
I'll take that any day.
Yep.
I mean,
But
I can tell
would
you for
like,
sure it's
like
not going to be Gambit.
the gulag, having like a Destiny gulag for like PV for like Gambit or something, where you just get thrown into a taken realm for 1v1s. Pretty fun.
That actually
Maybe?
sounds great. I would like
PvP
that.
invasion.
Johnny Dayjob says, let's all dream for a minute. Bungie is going to make a new set of Gambit mats. Each of you get to choose one location to include. Which do you choose? Also, wouldn't it be cool if the weather occurring on the location affected the gameplay somehow? Where Gambit happens doesn't really matter. I don't find Gambit fun.
No, we could do something fun with this because it didn't say where in the
Okay.
Destiny universe. You'd be like, where is it happening, regardless? So since Gambit doesn't exist, technically it could be anywhere. I'm gonna say Bowser's Castle on the Nintendo original. So it's 8.
How does that change gameplay?
Everything changes.
There's like
Everything
lava
changes.
everywhere. Like lava floor, those
It's
lava
2D now.
spinny things.
It's 2D.
Like these
You got to bank 2D
tiny
style.
little posts to jump on. Also got lava.
It's the spinny fire thingies. You know you got to jump
No,
over.
not the spinny fire things. Have a
Yeah,
heart.
man. It's Gambit. Come on.
You got to jump over Bowser at the end. Is Bowser like the big bad boss you got to beat at the end?
He's the primeval.
He's the primeval.
And the minions,
All
those
right,
dudes
I'm
that throw
sold.
the hammers.
You won me over.
Sound great? Playing Gambit all the time.
Well,
Come on.
Too bad Sony bought Destiny, not Nintendo.
They can license it. They got $3.5 billion. They could do it.
Zombie Widow Life says, what do you think of a game mode that is an extraction-based game? Your weapon loadout is at risk when you die. This could be a way to clean out your vault and possibly kill
You lose your weapons from that?
You lose your loot.
Like Tarkov?
If you could think of any game mode that Destiny players wouldn't play, it would be an extraction mode.
That would be a ghost town for sure.
I like extraction modes a lot. I've been playing the new what's it called? The Call of Duty one in Warzone. But in DMZ. DMZ? It's been
I think so.
pretty fun. It's been interesting the spin they've put on the extraction mode and how they've kept it quite within the Call of Duty flavor, but it's pretty interesting.
What's the risk reward for it?
It's not really there. That's the bit that they miss. And it's not like Tarkov where you have this massive suspense and this risk to get out and you take things back to your stash to build it up or piece guns together. It really feels like a cool co-op game with other players in the world. Because a lot of the time you could play a match and not see any other players. And just fight bots the whole time. But the bounties that you go in to do that gives you like XP rewards and stuff, they're actually really unique and really interesting. Like sometimes you have to pick up like a Humvee and like drive it across the map. Then a freaking helicopter like chases you. It's like a scripted that shoots missiles and stuff, and you're the guy that go like on the back, shoot out the helicopter, and everyone can see you because this fucking helicopter's chasing you across the map. So it's like there's stuff like that happens. It's
That's cool.
Surprisingly
cool.
fun.
I think I gotta pick up that game.
It's free. You can play for free the DMZ. It's part of Warzone. So I've had a lot of fun in it, but it doesn't have the same risk suspension that you would get with Tarkov, where you would be like shitting bricks and hiding in a corner and like sneaking around kind of deal.
Right.
Still within the sort of Call of Duty flavor of run and gun. So yeah, Destiny, yeah. I think extraction mode for Destiny wouldn't work, but I do want Bungie to try their hand at making an extraction game. Hopefully those rumors are true.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
So the way the Division did it with survival, that would be the method to implement for Destiny, to where everyone starts out with basically white gear, and you got to run around, you find gear that you equip during that game, and then you would extract whatever you ultimately find at the very end if you happen to make it all the way through. That could actually work for Destiny because there's so much gear in the game. It's just you would completely strip out your loadout, and you'd have like a base character.
That would be fun. Yeah, okay.
That's the way they did it, and it was awesome. Yeah. It was super fun playing Division Survival. Yeah, and super.
Did they add that to Division 2? Did they ever add that?
I don't know. Actually,
they made changes to Dark Zone. I'm pretty sure it wasn't the same as Division 1.
Yeah. Well, Survival was different also because the idea was that this huge blizzard came in and then snowed everything out. So like the visibility was lower because it was like in a snowstorm. And
it was way colder, so you couldn't stay out for very long.
Yeah, they had the cold mechanic, so you had to actually pay attention to what you were wearing and stuff that would be warmer and you had to go from zone to zone, otherwise you'd freeze to death. And if you ran into some high level NPCs that were kicking your ass and you were freezing, like you're done. And then someone picks you off at the end and steals all your loot. It was really fun.
It was a super fun game mode.
Yeah, really fun. But you didn't lose your base game stuff. So you weren't gonna, feel like you're at an actual deficit by the end of the game.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a side game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the thing with the new Call of Duty mode. It's like it's not a standalone game. It's not like Tarkov with that is the game. This is like a mode in Call of Duty, and if you consider it like a mode in Call of Duty, it is really good. It is very fun for it to be like same as going into a quick play playlist or going in and playing Prisoner Rescue. It's like, I'm going to go play DMZ. It's like a mode within the game.
I gotta check it out. I used to be such a huge Call of Duty fan. I haven't played much of it at all in the since Destiny came out, honestly.
Nearly everyone I've spoke to has been pleasantly surprised with DMZ. They're like, I went in expecting to hate this and kind of having fun.
That's awesome.
Good to hear.
And I was the same. I was like, this looks like trash. They don't understand the extraction formula, and they sort of just put their own spin on it, casualized it, but in a fun way.
Winova says, "What is the best Thanksgiving side?"
A side dish.
Yeah.
When am I going to be the most disappointed if it isn't there?
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes.
I feel like mashed potatoes, even though it's basic, but if there's no mashed potatoes, I'm gonna be salty.
Oh, I'd be super upset. Yeah.
But
gravy, gotta have gravy with the mashed potatoes.
Obviously.
Yeah.
What counts as a side though? What are the typical
anything besides
sides?
the turkey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'd have the turkey, then whatever else.
Green beans.
See, I'm thinking
green bean
like
casserole. That's
candied yams.
Yeah.
Candied yams. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Stuffing. Oh, I'd be super mad. I'd be more upset if there was no stuffing than if there's no mashed potatoes.
Yeah, you're right. But I feel like if you don't do the stuffing, like you screwed up Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So maybe that's it.
You're just having a turkey dinner at that point.
Yeah.
That's not Thanksgiving.
You're at Arby's.
The people banging on about mac and cheese, that counts as a side?
Mac and cheese, if you're 6 years old, that's the most important side.
Hey, I think fancy mac and cheese though. Like if someone does a fancy
three
thing
cheese
with, like,
mac and cheese.
What's that? The deluxe?
Deluxe mac and cheese. I don't know. was gonna say, like here, like in Australia, when we have our Christmas like lunches, you have like meats, but you also have like lasagna. Like, could lasagna be a side?
It's fringe.
Yeah.
It could be, but it's definitely fringe.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you brought lasagna. All right. I mean, it's Thanksgiving. We're here to give thanks.
It could be both a main meal and a side, depending on how much you have.
Oh yeah, for sure. Lasagna
Like
is
a little
usually
slice of lasagna.
Yeah, it could be both.
Yeah, I feel like all the sides.
I mean,
could be. That
I wouldn't
way.
like get crazy about it being there, but I also wouldn't miss it if it wasn't there. Lasagna.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. What are the things that you would go, oh man, I can't believe that meal didn't have that? Like the stuffing,
Cranberry sauce definitely got to be there.
a good cranberry sauce definitely enhances everything.
That's not a side. That's a topping, right? Or a sauce.
It is,
Yeah, sauce. Yeah,
A
not
wet
side.
That's
topping.
fair. That's fair.
I saw a tweet that some restaurant didn't put sauces; they put wet topping as the
That's great.
as the
Wet
tap,
topping.
and there's like mayo, tomato sauce. Wet topping.
Wet topping. Oh man.
Sonic NG23 says, not a question, but a solution to Mylan's toilet problem. Oh, good. Finally.
Good.
Buy
The real
one of those
discussion.
Japanese toilets that have a sink on the water tank. Oh, you got tweeted like a couple of those, right? Like top tank sinks.
Yeah,
I thought that was
know what
interesting.
I know what
honestly.
my secret Santa is gonna be.
A top tank sink.
It's gonna be a
Wet
a
wipes,
year's
please.
supply of hand
Please
sanitizer.
don't.
Yeah.
Please.
Steph Jimmy 15 says you only had to eat one the rest of your life. Pizza with no sauce, just cheese and anchovies, or a hot dog made with spam winnies. What's a spam winnie?
Is spam like the canned meat?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
just
terrible.
A hot dog.
Don't know what the Winnie part is though.
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
I'm assuming it's like Australian. Winnie's?
That is actually hard. That's Winnie Blues is a pack of cigarettes, so I don't know if you're
Yeah.
putting cigarettes in your hot dogs.
Spam cigarettes, man.
All I'm getting is like the horse winnie. Looking it
So
up.
is it just like it's like a canned hot dog?
Given this option, these two options, I'm going to join my fellow vegetarians. Because this is
Yeah.
unacceptable.
Because you can pick the anchovies off, and you can have basic cheesy bread.
Briar's gonna have
Yeah.
a salad.
If all I ate was pizza dough with cheese on it, that was my only meal, I would blow up.
Yeah, you'd be backed up, man.
Yeah.
Not much is moving through that.
No. That is a hard stop.
You're gonna need some
Shitting
medical
bricks,
attention.
literally.
The more immediate Imodium needed. Soul Invictus says, canonically speaking, how powerful would you say legendary guardians like us, Ikora, Saladin, and Saint 14 are in comparison to other fictional god slayers like Kratos, Doomslayer, or the main character in Elden Ring? Are we not
Doomslayer?
demigods too? I take umbrage to the fact that we are on the same level as Ikora, Saladin, and Saint 14. I think we've done much more than any of those chumps.
Yeah. We've done the heavy lifting.
Yeah, I mean, they sort of should be more powerful, but you're right. Yeah.
Not
No.
totally incorrect.
Mm.
I don't think anybody
I mean-
compares to Doomslayer.
Slayer is pretty nasty.
I think
Kratos
Doomslayer
has done
is
some
like the
bad
original.
shit too, though.
Kratos has
Yeah.
killed a lot of gods. He's up there
Yeah.
with God Killer.
Yeah,
Nobody has a soundtrack of Doomslayer. Sorry.
true.
There's no
That's a
competition.
good point.
I mean,
it's all-
Kratos is into ripping and tearing, but it definitely does not have the guitar riffs in there.
I think what this question really is calling for is another PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale, so we can solve this problem. We can pit these god
Apparently
killers against each other in combat.
All you need to know
Apparently-
is that hell itself is scared of the Doomslayer. Okay,
That's a good point.
that's all you need to know. All the
But don't
demons
the-
are terrified of the doom.
What did the Falling call us? Didn't they call us demon?
Yeah. Do you reckon the demons have like hatchlings that they tell stories about Doomslayer being really scary?
Definitely.
Coming
Yeah,
in,
they
on
have
this
lore about
crusade.
how badass Doomslayer is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bottle Conqueror says, "Happy Thanksgiving to all. Some rapid fire questions: cornbread dressing or stuffing? Stuffing.
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 Cranberry sauce, yes or no? Yes.
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 Lots.
Yes.
Mashed potatoes versus scallop potatoes.
Both.
Both good
Mash.
options.
Oh, I like both.
Is scallop like hash browns?
Scalloped is like thinly sliced potatoes and kind of like a cheesy sauce.
Yeah, cheesy, milky, buttery type of thing
Yeah.
going on.
Like
Oh,
like
that's
potato
good.
No,
bake?
mashed.
Like what now?
Like potato bake?
Oh, sure. That sounds right.
maybe it's
Like, you guys
that.
don't have wait.
Is that what
Oh boy.
potato bake is?
Here we go again.
I think about a baked potato with a potato bake. Must be.
You get
Must be the
a
same.
dish.
No, it's if you Google a picture of cheesy potato bake, it's like that's what scalloped potatoes look like.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it
potato
looks
bake.
like the
then,
same
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Big for big tree and chat. They're different. Okay, who cares? Close enough.
Let's say you
Pumpkin pie
bring
versus
Burrito,
anything
wrap,
else.
whatever.
pumpkin pie versus anything else.
Yeah.
I prefer like cherry pie personally.
I prefer apple pie. So I'm gonna go with anything else, I guess. But I do like pumpkin pie a lot,
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
and you
not
only
eat it.
seem to get it.
I'm gonna need someone. I need whoever did this to redo this, but with Australian foods next time, please.
Oh yes, I would enjoy that too.
Mylan,
I got
my-
one to add to this: cranberry sauce from a can or freshly made.
I actually like both. I think they
I do
both.
too.
Yeah, they have two different kind of flavors going on. Like
I used to not like the freshly made at all. I preferred from the can, but recently my allegiances have leaned more toward the freshly made,
Yeah,
which is interesting because I was
Yeah.
very firmly a canned.
definitely a
cranberry sauce person.
richer, more vibrant taste with the freshly made.
Yeah.
Yeah, might be a little too bitter for some people because of how like cranberry it is. The jellied like canned stuff is definitely a little more moderate.
Yeah.
Mylan, if you were to have to bring burritos to a Thanksgiving dinner, what would you bring?
Good question.
I'd panic. I'd get a bit of anxiety thinking about what a burrito is.
Is that in ingredients or
And
burritos?
then-
I haven't made them in a while, but is
You put
anxiety
Panic in
burritos
burritos?
on the menu?
I would just get a bit of a selection.
That's what I
This is
eat if I get too high. Anxiety burritos.
Oh God.
If I didn't know if I wasn't sure of the instructions, I'll just bring a bit of everything. I'll bring a taco, a burrito, and a wrap.
And a
then at least
gyro
I'll
or
get-
gyro. A shawarma.
Just everything that's some sort of carb that you wrap around meat. Put a pie in there too.
Hunter says, with what seems to be the current mass exodus of Twitter employees following Elmo's Twitter 2.0 decree, if this bird app hellscape does crash and burn in a ball of fire, where will you request all of our very important, pertinent, and thought-provoking questions?
OnlyFans on DCP.
MySpace.
MySpace, yeah.
We
Oh, yeah,
should go back
OnlyFans
to
is a good one.
MySpace. Tumblr's pretty close to, both those websites.
We're going to make a forums.dcp.com. You're going to have to sign up
A
there.
new Usenet.
Yeah, Usenet.
We'll do it. We'll post a video every week on TikTok.
Yeah.
You know how we
TikTok
upload on
questions.
YouTube every week? There's a comment feature.
We don't read those.
Oh, but I guess that would be linked. People would have to speculate. There's a question.
We could use the DCP, so we could use YouTube and
The
use
community
the
post.
community feature.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the
You
community
can post
post.
the community thing.
Okay. Okay.
So just in case the world does explode, aka Twitter, make sure that you follow the DCP YouTube, and
Yeah.
we will use the community feature.
If the bird is legitimately down,
Yeah.
use YouTube.
Yes, we'll do that. That seems like a good thing to do.
Mike says, "Are the seal changes enough to make you want to chase the seasonal title? Glad to see them, and hopefully for a lesser seasonal grind going forward."
I have not really been enamored with titles since they introduced them because I'm not a stat chaser. Like if I chase something, I want it to be impactful to my gameplay. So I appreciate people being excited about titles, and I appreciate the collector in people that wanted to do all the gilding and all that. Like I can totally see that side of it and say, "Oh, that's really cool," but that's just not how I play games.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, they've always seemed ultra grindy to me, and it's just not how I enjoy games.
The only
maybe
one I
the one-
chased was Shadow.
Shadow was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe the Kingsfall, was it Kingslayer? I think maybe I do enjoy doing Kingsfall, so maybe that one be the only one that I actually like doing the activity and would do it in different ways to get it, you know?
Yeah. I like the ones I just suddenly stumble into and be like, "Oh, I'm a dredgen now." Okay. Cool.
Hank says, "Would you guys like to see a PvP focused season? I feel like the game could benefit a lot from a break from PvE. How about a Gambit focused season?" No, I'm going to say no to a Gambit focused season. The problem is with this is like it'd be fun, I think, for people who enjoy PvP, but I think the majority, I don't know, that's wrong. I think there's a lot of people out there. I think Destiny at this point is a bigger PvE game than it is a PvP game. I think that's reflected by how much content comes out for those respective modes. And I think it'd be kind of silly to really focus on PvP for an entire season.
Exclusively, like only PvP?
Yeah, exclusively, yeah.
Yeah, why can't there be
I
a
do think
balance?
they could build up that side of the game more, and the player base would come.
Mhm.
I mean,
Why can't there
I
be
feel
a
like
balance?
the player base
you
used
know?
to be much bigger for PvP in Destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, they updated it frequently.
I honestly feel like if they just devote a little bit of what they do to Eververse, like we were talking about, just shave off 10% of your Eververse budget for a few cosmetics in PvP, an emote to chase, like it'd be enough to get people into those playlists and want to grind for them.
Josh says, despite the
Shaxx
lack
Pass.
of rewards for the new comp system, I'm
Shaxx Pass.
cautiously optimistic for what's that?
A Shaxx Pass.
Shaxx Pass.
You know, Battle Pass, Season Pass,
Yeah.
Shaxx Pass.
Josh says, despite the lack of rewards for the new comp system, I'm cautiously optimistic for how the PvP side of things is going to feel in the new season, especially with the weapon and subclass tuning dev notes. Do you guys think it'll be enough to reinvigorate you to jump into PvP more? I'm definitely going to check it out. I don't know that I'm going to hang like long term, though. My biggest problem with Destiny's PvP is it just feels so old. It's like there's just so many new experiences that I want to check out all the time. You know, Destiny PvP just feels old to me.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. And you know what? We'll be able to tell pretty quickly if it's entertaining or not. You know, and it's different streaming stuff, but if it's exciting to go and do ranks and there's enough people there to make it a variable experience where the matches are exciting and people want to stay around and watch, I'll grind it for fun. But I'm probably predicting that it will be fun for the first couple weeks maybe, and then it will quickly simmer down to the same group of people that enjoyed PvP and just like, you know, that have been there the whole time.
On some level, that's a success, right? Like nothing is going to last forever. You can't expect it to.
Diamonds.
No.
Sorry.
Again, you have corrected me, and I am mistaken, sir. Diamonds are, in fact, forever.
I do want to call out Tapped Out in chat. He brings a great point. He says, Crucible focus season would be awesome with a story. And like, I didn't think about that, but if there was a Crucible story with Shaxx needing help guiding the Red Jacks, the things, like things that need to be aligned or done in the Crucible side of things that somehow incorporate us doing some Crucible and also some story with it, I actually think that'd be really cool. I'd be up for that.
I would play that. Yeah, I'd be interested in checking that out for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Autobot Dawson says, which of the following would be your DCP esports team mascot if you had to choose from these options? We use 4 options. The Cannibals with Crocs, the Mama Birds, the Net Coders, and the Budgie Smugglers.
Ooh, that sounds
Can we
good.
combine them all together?
Yes, I think that would be an awesome shirt. Just
Net
like
Code, Mama Birding, Budgie
the
Smuggler,
Cannibal Crocs, Mama Birds, Net Coders, Budgie Smugglers.
Wait, so what would be a bird head on like a matrix body, like net coding, when the bottom half being the budgie smugglers wearing the flip flops?
Mama
holding
Birding.
with the Croc.
Like a human leg that
Over
it's
the
eating.
Crocs.
I think it would be Mama Birding into a Crocs.
Oh.
How dare you?
You could have the Crocs be sentient and we're eating the Crocs, and then Mama birding the Crocs back into a Croc.
What fresh hellscape have we invented? Nightmare material.
William Corwin says, since you guys are so famously known for your PvP knowledge, can you tell me what kind of pie you'll be eating during Thanksgiving? Marlon, what drinks will you be making?
Probably
Something festive. There's a cocktail that's got I can't remember. It's like Fireball, something else. It's very festive and very delicious. So
Like Fireball whiskey?
Yeah, Fireball. I think it's got some sort of like orange or apricot liqueur in there, and then not cinnamon, but something that's tastes like Christmas. I can't remember what it is.
Oh. Man, that sounds
Yes,
good. I think I'm gonna go get some Fireball whiskey and break it out during Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
That'd be fun, right?
because Fireball whiskey is a bit like sweet, you know.
Yeah, it's
Cinnamony.
fun. The whole family can
fun.
get involved. It's like having a
Except for
Fireball.
the children.
Yeah.
Yeah, that real treat is pretty close. Fireball, cinnamon, like an apricot or orange liqueur. Yeah, getting close.
I think I've told this story, but me and a buddy have a tradition of going golfing the weekend before Thanksgiving at a golf course that's on in Apple Farm, and then buy pies at the Apple Farm for Thanksgiving.
That sounds
That is
lovely.
very nice. Yeah, that's great.
Senator Chungus, I like that name. Would you rather fight one Golgoroth size Thrall or 20 Thrall size Golgoroths?
Thrall size Golgoroth.
That'd be cute.
That would be cute. I want one. I would put up a website posting advertising the mini Golgoroths are up for adoption. That's what I'd do.
Tiny Golgoroth.
Tiny Golgoroths would be adorable.
Yeah, I think
Do they
that'd
all
be
have
more
white
entertaining.
mechanics?
Then again, they might look a bit like spiders though, because of their back.
No.
Yeah, no, you're right. With the thing, they're
Cute
opening up for the
spiders.
gaze, right?
Let's make them plushies, and then we're good.
Yeah,
We'll
they
cover
have
them
to-
in fur.
They have to have their spider legs closed.
So if I were to take this question seriously,
Yeah.
the raid white mechanic thing would just make it impossible for the 20 Golgoroth or 20 is it?
It'd be very difficult.
Yeah, but a giant thrall probably doesn't have that much extra health, and it's probably got a big
probably just
crit spot.
A little bit of a tanky Thrall, right?
Yeah, it's a big tanky thrall. It's like a glitch in the code where suddenly this thrall is
Yeah.
massive in comparison to the others, and people get excited about it, and then becomes some Telesto manifesto type of thing.
Yeah.
Telesto
So
made
I'd
the giant
I'd
thrall.
rather fight a Golgoroth sized Thrall. I'd rather watch Dado fight 20 Thrall sized Golgoroths.
There you go.
Mm.
Blandy McBlanderson says, if you could get a mechanical third arm and plant it on you, where on your body would you want it to be attached?
Well,
Somewhere that could reach the small of my back. You know, when you got it, it's like right in the middle part and you can't reach it.
so like the side.
Yeah, I guess actually not the small of my back, like more like between the shoulder blades.
You need
I
like
mean, it has to be your back, surely.
Yeah. Also, it'd be so convenient to wipe my butt to have an arm right back there. Right.
You couldn't sit back though anymore though. You couldn't like.
Also, I could hold the book open with both hands while I'm reading.
I think it has to be coming out of your side, like the kidney, liver side.
Right.
Yeah.
If it's directly out of your back, that's uncomfortable for the rest of your life.
Yeah, because you can't sit straight, right?
Yeah,
You
lay
have to,
down.
sit off to the side all the time.
Just in one more hand, Marlon can't watch.
That's a good one. That's good.
No, that was my dedicated wiping hand. Solve all my problems. That's all it does.
Cobalt says, is anyone else wondering when there's going to be a focus on PvE again? I, for one, am tired of hearing about the Crucible. When do you think Bungie will care about strikes again? This is a joke. Please don't hurt me.
Oh, gonna say.
I was ready. He was ready to tear in. Judo chop through the internet.
Chopping. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
When is Bungie ever going to focus on PvE again? My God. This is just terrible.
It's been way too long.
Just, what are they doing?
That person was ready for Twitter to die. Just burning it down like it's gonna die soon. Just say everything you want to say.
I'm gonna do 3 more questions.
Copy that.
Arlo says, everyone can answer my question. What were your feelings of the final episode of the Supernatural TV show? Much love, and thank you for the awesome show. What were you guys' feelings of the final episode of Supernatural TV show?
I'm going to defer to Briar on this since he's an Uber
I
fan.
haven't seen it.
Neither have I.
So.
Yeah. Tell us, Briar. How do you feel about it?
I don't have the foggiest idea what happened during the final episode of the Supernatural TV show. Frankly, I've completely forgotten. I think it came out 2 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago. 2 years ago. That was a long time ago. But I did recently find out there is now a series called The Winchesters, which is a spin-off series of Supernatural, and I'm very excited about it. It's like 4 or 5 episodes deep. What's that?
Is Jared in there or no?
No.
He's doing Walker, right? So
no, he's busy being a Texas Ranger. Actually, has that show been canceled yet? Because the fact that they don't do any karate on the new Walker Texas Ranger show is goddamn.
I haven't watched it either, but I think what happened in the last episode of Supernatural is Chuck Norris' ghost came in, whispered into Jared's ear, and then he suddenly became the new Walker. And that's what happened.
That adds up. That's
canon. That's canon.
Yeah. Mr. Goodbye says, now that we have all these changes announced, what's your go-to Marvel Snap deck? Have you guys played Marvel Snap?
Yeah, I played a little bit. Bit.
I've heard great things.
Mainly because Tassie wouldn't shut up about it. I was like, fine, Paul Tassie, I'll bloody download it. I haven't really got into it, but it seems fun. Seems good.
I've heard good stuff.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played it.
I couldn't tell you what card would be my favorite.
Final question of the night, although there were many more. Thank you all for submitting all the good questions. Hugher79 says, what have you bought or searched for on Amazon that has led you to the most annoying suggestion for other stuff it thinks you want to buy? I'm going to boot up Amazon right now.
I was going to say, I don't normally even see suggestions for purchases.
I feel like this is just constant.
This is a question for my wife because she just has bought a lot of things off Amazon since the baby arrived.
I just feel like Amazon's good at that. offering you things that you definitely don't want that are annoying.
It's kind of their business model, right?
Yeah, right? That's what they do. They are good at that. Here's this knockoff battery charger that you definitely don't need. It's probably going to be broken in a couple months. From a
on
third-party
this
seller.
topic, I saw this tweet which I showed today, and it was like, I love e-commerce or something, and it was Amazon, and the title was straws or something, like glass straws, like unique looking glass straws, and they're just basically crack pipes, and then and then the suggestion, like other people bought with it, and there was just lighters.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I'm just looking at things that they're recommending to me right now. Dixie Belle Gator Hide, Vegemite, Rust-Oleum chalked paint, a Arcade 1-Up NFL Blitz arcade machine, a New California Republic flag. What else? I mean, there's a lot of shit I don't want on here.
Oh, man.
A lot of shoes that I wouldn't wear because they're not Crocs.
Yeah. What's your yearly Croc budget, Briar?
I only really go through like one pair a year.
That's it?
Yeah.
Gotta
You
put
go
up some
through
more.
one pair a year?
Yeah, like I wear them out.
Wow, I just realized that's a lot.
As
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. Go
Well,
through
yeah.
a pair, like actually wear it out, or you can't wear it anymore. Do you?
Yeah.
Do you do a lot of trucking around?
Either that or Crocs are dog shit. So.
That too,
One
yeah.
or the other.
How dare you, Mylan?
Well, yeah, one a year is a lot.
I still got like pairs of shoes from like 5 years ago that are fine, usable.
I wear them a lot, though. I wear them around the house all the time. I wear them like out doing yard work. I even wear them bicycling around.
His Crocs are in sport mode.
Oh, yeah. That's what the strap is for, Mylan.
Sport mode.
Mm,
Wait,
just
you telling
imagine
me
running around the house like you can't
yeah,
walk?
you telling me you're doing yard work, you're showering in them, you're shoveling.
No, I take them off for the shower.
How do you
I did
clean
bring
them?
them to the gym the other day because I went to the pool, and when I got out of the pool, I needed some wet foot gear, so I brought my Crocs.
And you don't shower in them? Come on, man.
No,
It's just it's not adding up. How you go through this in one a year? Not adding up. Oh well, that's all the answers in Destiny. Clearly solved
everything.
succinctly.
Yeah.
Congratulations on all of the astute observations that we have collected throughout the community and funneled into one location known as the DCP podcast. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it.
Next week, we will have a side quest on Monday.
Right.
Correct? But we won't have a DCP this show on Thursday.
Correct. Yeah.
So if you
Oh,
want to catch
gosh.
up with the crew, Monday, come hang out with us.
There it is.
Mylan will
Monday.
not be there. Unless you want to be there, Mylan, come talk about God of War.
Yeah, you want to
Well, I'm also
be the middle of the
playing
night for
playing Darktide Warhammer 40k right now.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
I wanna
jump.
play-
I actually
play
played a
that.
little bit before podcast, and it wasn't enough. I'm gonna jump back on stream and play a bit more now.
You.
Well, if
Should
you
come
feel
on
like
Cyclops.
waking up in the middle of the
What
night
time?
and
5 a.m.
jumping
I'm
on,
up at 5 a.m. It would be a pleasure to be up at 5 a.m. and not listening to Leo crying.
yeah, it's 1 p.m. Pacific, so I don't know what that is in your time.
What is it?
I think it's
1
I think it's
p.m.
1 a.m.
Pacific. No.
No,
No, wait. I think it's
1 a.m.
or
1
1
p.m.
p.m.
Pacific.
1 p.m.
1 p.m.
I
Pacific.
think it's
Pacific?
4 a.m.
to Perth.
2?
5 a.m.
5 a.m.
5 a.m.
Welcome to the show. We'll see you Monday.
Yeah.
Hear about all the things. On some final thoughts about God of War, because I
Wait,
feel like
would
I've
be
beat it by
Monday or
then.
Tuesday.
Oh yeah, it might be Tuesday for you.
So wait, this says
Tuesday,
here
5
Thursday-
a.m.
Thursday 1 p.m. is Friday 5 a.m. for me. So it's a day.
Yeah.
day after.
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
5 a.m.
Tuesday, 5 a.m.
Tuesday 5 a.m.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mark it in the calendar.
Not bad.
Unless it's daylight
Welcome
savings
aboard.
time.
All right. Yeah, that's side quest next week. Happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate. Thanks to our Patreon members and our Twitch subs, and I'll see you soon, guys. Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.